All right, we're here at County on day 5 of the state soccer tournament. This is the big day. We got all the finals going on, the girls and the boys, and we just watched the 1A final between Grundy Center Gladbrook, Rhinebeck, and Western Christian Hull. I'm Ben Brackett, your Soccer Talk co-host, alongside my good buddy and pal, Blake Sievers. Siebes, how are you today?
Good.
I like your jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quick shout out to our boy Charlie Bales for the Menace, hooking us up with some healthiest state kits. And then we've got, in place of the Titan tactician, we today have Damian Corriere, so we'll call him the consultant for the day. He's going to be bringing the razor sharp wit and the astute analysis, and we're very happy to have you here, Damo.
Great. It's great to be here, guys. Thank you so much.
Mr. Damian himself. Okay, so let's start and talk about this game. And I don't know, my take on the first half was it was pretty quiet.
It was like
It was helter-skelter.
It was like a tale of two halves.
It really was. There was not a whole lot of passing going on. There were some pretty hard tackles.
Nerves, though, right? A little
for
bit.
sure.
I mean, Western Christian's been there. Grundy Center, Gladbrook, Rhinebeck hasn't, and they both brought the fans, the supporters. It was a cool atmosphere, and it's like, remember these 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, like, cool little environment for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Western Christian Hull kind of on a mission, having been to the state final the past 2 years and losing last year in a shootout, I believe. So, heartbreak for them. And then GCGR, never been to the state final before, haven't been in the state tournament for, 6-7 years, something like that. So, tell me about the halftime talks a little, Blake.
Both coaches were just like, heat's playing a part. We've talked about it all week. The grass, thick, slow, and they were both just kind of like, that's just right? The game was in. The coaches were they were awesome to talk to, but trying to figure out the solution, how to solve this problem, and it took a bit of magic to open it all up, didn't it?
Yeah, why don't you talk about that, Damo?
Yeah, so, second half, Western Christian Hull kind of came out again. I didn't think the first half, I didn't think they were great.
No.
I thought they were definitely the second team in that half. Not to say that it was like they were getting played out of the park, but they didn't connect much, didn't do much. And then second half, they kind of came out with a bit of energy. There was a couple tackles, and then when they got into the attacking third, they showed a decent amount of creativity. And really, the first goal that was
Miles Bacom, yeah.
The turn was class.
Yeah.
Best goal of the tournament so far I've seen.
Just outside of the foot, just click this turn and then comes onto it and strikes it. It's a good finish.
Sort of like a spinning Cruyff turn, or I don't know what you want to call it. It was slick.
It was class. And then just the moments in after that too, that little chest pass that he did.
Yeah, he was on.
I'm not certain if that was intentional or not, but
he was feeling it though, wasn't he?
He was on a different level for the rest of that half. And then obviously when they got up 2-0, smart player, you really start to watch him. He starts dropping in a bit, just doing more defending. But they could have scored 8 goals in that second half if it wasn't for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's true. The goalkeeper for GCGR, Max Anderson, who the boys on the press conference in the other game gave him a big shout out, and he was immense in the second half. Had a great double save in front of us.
Yeah.
I'd like to give Miles a shout out for best celebration of the tournament so far as well. I loved just like they ran up. He's a little guy.
Number 4, Teague Vanderveld, who's probably what?
Yeah, and he ran up to the. Yeah, he's a little guy, and then the big guy, and he just picked him up and threw him up in the air like he was a kid. It was hilarious and also awesome.
One thing I really liked too about Western Christian was that they seem to want to be getting this kid Uche a goal.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really about. Miles could have been. Probably could have had a hat trick about 5 or 6 times, but he kept distributing the ball out, trying to get his teammates involved. So
yeah, Uchan Harberts, he was a good little player too.
He had probably about 5 legitimate chances to score, and struck the ball well. His technique was really good. He just unfortunately couldn't hit the target, or the goalkeeper would make a couple saves.
Yeah.
Real quick, Tyler Nolder again for GCGR.
That's what I was going to say. So let's talk about him.
Stats. He's had 41 assists, led the 1A. There's a reason. That guy, what a player.
Yeah, he left-footed, but actually really kind of two-footed. I saw him strike a couple nice balls with his right foot as well.
Hopefully he's playing somewhere next year because he's definitely
he's playing Upper Iowa. That's what our sources are telling us. So
good. I'm glad he's continuing because he was a good player.
He really was.
And I think Western Christian Hull is going to be the team to beat. Bacom's a junior, goalkeeper, a big, tall monster as a junior. One or two of the guys in the back were juniors. The Ucho's going to
Uchan.
Yeah, Uchan's a junior.
Yeah, they got some sophomores in there that are pretty decent
Yeah.
too as well. So
Well, 1A girls finals about to kick off, so let's wrap it up.
What a week for the 1A boys. Well done.
That's right. Good start to the day for us. We'll catch you here shortly for another recap. All right, we're back with the Class 1A girls recap. Just watched the final where Sioux City Bishop Heelan, the Crusaders, took on Gilbert Tigers. Blake Siebers is here alongside Damo Corriere. Sibo, what'd you think?
Two lower seeds playing for the final and decided by one player.
Which was?
Sioux City Bishop Heelan. Number 9, Trellin White.
yes,
I believe is how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
First got the ball at her feet, ran past 3 defenders for Gilbert.
Yeah.
Good little finish to the far post. But other than that, every time she touched the ball, she was dangerous. Damien?
Yeah.
Was her?
Yeah, no, she was, and eventually, unfortunately for her, did get 2 yellows and didn't finish off the match. But definitely
What a great game though.
the first, right? I mean, yeah,
sent off.
yeah. I scored 2 goals. We won 2-0. I got sent off. No, but she did really well. The first goal I thought was an individual effort, right? And she basically dribbles around 3 defenders and scores a neat little goal. And it was tight. The space to finish was tight. And then the second goal she scored, which really sealed up the game, was just a counterattack. Corner kick wasn't dealt with well. She gets the ball and again just kind of slaloms through a bunch of people and a good finish. So she's a good player. She was good against Nevada. I don't know what she did the second game, but
She was good in that
She was
game.
good.
yeah. So obviously a good matchup for her, and she took advantage of it.
Right on. Talk to me about the Gilbert Tigers quick. Who'd you like there, and maybe who didn't show up?
Yeah, I don't know if it was anyone that didn't show up, to be honest. I think, I really think they played with intentionality from back to middle third, and their build-out shape was good, and I thought they were really trying to connect. And then from there, the game maybe got a bit more direct. I thought Sydney Lynch got some opportunities. She had a shot in the first half that just missed, being top bins. And one of the O'Brien girls, Ellie, who's the number 4 that plays up, she was more in an attacking role. Did some things to get involved in the game. Sarah Thatcher, I thought, tried to get involved in the game, but it just wasn't their day ultimately. So,
Well, from a kick it forward perspective, we're a little disappointed the Gilbert Tigers didn't come over because we were hoping that Cindy Lynch could teach us a little bit on the golf course. Sounds like she just won state last week on at state golf, so we could probably use a little help, couldn't we, Siebes?
We could indeed.
Well, that's not the case, unfortunately. Good season for both teams, and congratulations to the Crusaders from Sioux City Bishop Heelan. Unfortunately, Coach Sean Mansfield dikembe'd us once again.
What do they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So
No third
Fool me
shame.
twice.
unfortunately,
get
yeah,
fooled
but it's too
again.
bad because everybody that comes up loves it, and you live, you learn, and you grow. It's a good mutual way to put it, I think.
Well, let's get to the 2A recap for the boys. Okay, back again, 2A boys, final day here at the state tournament. I'm Ben Brackett. I've got Blake Siebers and Damian Corriere alongside me. Damo, we watched that whole match. It was the Davenport Assumption Knights taking on, again, the Gilbert Tigers. And a little confusing because the girls are 1A and the boys are 2A. But regardless, a pretty good game, wasn't it?
They brought the town of Gilbert, that's for sure. That's awesome.
Everyone from Gilbert and the north side of Ames was here. So yeah.
What'd you think? I thought Gilbert was really good, especially in the first half. I really like the boy who scored both goals for them, Connor Rash.
Yeah.
He was a stud, a sophomore, and he just never stopped running. I made the comment that most strikers at this tournament could learn a little bit from him because he was chasing down every loose ball, just being difficult for defenders, and then every time he got chances, he was finishing them and making goalkeepers make saves. So to me, he was the player of the game, but there were a lot of good players for Gilbert and a lot of good players for Davenport Assumption. Let's talk a little bit about the it was one-way traffic in the first half, wasn't it? Davenport Assumption didn't have anything for me.
Yeah, no.
Not in the first half.
And obviously, Gilbert got to go. Connor Rash is, listen, like, he's talking about a kid that's got mentality, a physicality to him, and, he's been that way since I've known the kid. It's just, he is that kid that's going to outwork people. And so, he gets 2 goals, and Gilbert's up pretty handily. I thought they had a good game from Zach Holton.
Yep.
Was giving them some width and looked really dynamic. Jackson Johnson was kind of controlling the midfield, number 2.
He was, yeah. We both talked about that.
Yeah, so just steady Eddie, really calm. And their back line did what they needed to do for the first half, and, they're up 2-0.
Yeah, it's hard not to like that Owen Kaupman either, too, right? Like he's a physical presence. He's clearly a leader. Wins everything in the air. No nonsense. They were good. And, for Davenport Assumption, really, the only player that was really standing out in the first half was Roberto Medrano, and ultimately in the second half he was the difference, wasn't he?
Yeah, the second half you can kind of see the game kind of turning. Obviously the penalty I missed because I was back and forth between, but I think it was a handball.
Yeah, it was a handball in the box.
Yeah.
So ref gets that right, and the Assumption steps up for the penalty. Medrano dispatches it, no problem. Yeah. But then it was, man, how many chances did they have before they got the equalizer?
It's Taunton, they were very direct. Obviously, it was, get the ball in the attacking third, and Gilbert held down the fort for a while, man. They looked a little bit like set pieces were making me nervous for Gilbert.
Yeah, they were shaky defending set pieces. And then they've got the goalkeeper, Matthew Weber, he's not a big guy, right? And so they're just getting the ball in on top of him, and it's...
Yeah, and I think that was kind of a game. I mean, you remember a couple times they had the one set piece from I'm not joking, 60 yards out.
60, maybe even 70, dude.
And
it was
got absolutely pings one.
literally hits the goal in the air, like the goalie had to make a save.
Yeah, and so maybe they thought, but listen to Matthew Weber's credit, that kid stays in that match, makes some good saves.
Yeah, and ultimately is a bit of a hero.
Comes up big when the cameras are rolling, the flashes are going.
Yeah. So then. Ultimately, they score with probably 3 minutes left. Davenport Assumption does.
Seconds left. It was,
Yeah, not much time left, and then goes to overtime. Overtime, pretty sleepy affair. Not again, the penalties were imminent, I thought, and we saw a bunch of really nice penalties. Like we talked the other day, some of the 1A penalties that we saw were not so good, but man, these guys were banging them in, weren't they?
Yeah, no, I mean obviously the first one was really well taken, and the first one for Gilbert went off the bar and in, or off the post.
Yeah.
So obviously that's well placed. I probably only saw one that was fairly poor as far as placement went, but he still sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. So
here's a plug for Iowa High School Sports Network. I'm over here watching the DCG Waverly Shellrock girls game. Guess what? I pulled up on my phone to watch as soon as I went to penalties. Pulled it up and brilliant.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Shout out to Iowa High School Sports Network then, for sure. But yeah, so then ultimately we watched the penalties go back and forth. Nobody misses, and then Matthew Weber, what must have been like the 8th or 9th shooter, stones him. And then our boy Connor Rash.
DCG just scored a second one. Talk about timing. Sorry, Ben, to interrupt you. Connor Rash, you're talking.
Connor Rash does come up. And
I just thought it was great that I was surprised that Connor Rash didn't shoot until when he did, just because knowing he was the goal scorer. And I just thought it was fitting then, of course, he gets the chance to win it. And by the way, great celebration on the goal. He ran over and did the full Ronaldo swee in front of the fans, and everybody screamed with him. It was great.
Can you guys do me a favor at the press conference? Ask, because I had the same question. You said he scored a brace in the game, and then he's the 7th, 8th shooter. I was like, man, that's interesting.
He went 10th. He was the well, maybe not.
He's 9th or 10th. Yeah, I mean, he was. Well, we'll find out. We'll check.
Yeah, ask why though. He was so late in the squad. I'm just curious.
It might be because he's a sophomore. Okay. Well, anyway, so. Your Gilbert Tigers, they don't take the trip down south for nothing, and they come away with their first state championship and avenge the girls' loss as well.
I'm so happy for them because their staffs on both sides, the boys and the girls, are unbelievably nice, polite, friendly, accommodating.
Do interviews when you ask.
Yeah, they were just great, awesome people. So I'm really happy, and they brought the crowd, right? They brought for all the games this week. Everybody from that town, I think, came down for the boys and girls.
Be sure to check out the Gilbert boys semifinal press conference, and then of course I'm sure this final one's going to be on fire. But they were hilarious and had a lot of personality, and I know they're going to be jacked up. So let's get you back over to the girls 2A final, which has DCG up 2-0. and then Damo, you and I will go head over and watch Norwalk and Iowa City Liberty in the final for 3A. We'll be back.
Sounds amazing.
And we are back, but we're not on time because today has been a crazy day. It is, I assume if you're watching the YouTube channel, you can see that it is dark. And we are at the end of a hectic day, but we're going to go back and talk about the 2A girls. We have the Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs against the Waverly Shell Rock Go Hawks. Blake, what's a Go Hawk, please?
It's not an actual character. It's just something you can cheer.
Just
So
go
they've
Hawks.
done it for their supporters and their fans. Go Hawks.
I got it. Okay, fair enough.
So it'd be like they would be called like the Go Tigers.
but no one would do that.
Fair enough. Okay, well, so a very, this was a battle, right? Like these are two teams that all year have been sort of looking to get to this game. And
Shell Rock beat them earlier in the season 1-0.
Waverly Shell Rock with the edge, and we see the 1-0, but it turns out it was a tie, penalty shootout, and DCG. Honestly, I think that was a disadvantage for Waverly Shell Rock because DCG had that on their schedule circled. Anytime that they're going to play Waverly Shell Rock, they are ready to go. Also, weather report, it's steamy. My glasses are fogging up.
Wow.
It's hot.
Go on, Siebes.
All right, so I think the talking point ahead of the game, Kylie Knief, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, UNI commit out, did not play on
Injured.
crutches. So
the girls mentioned in the press conference that they were that was like a shot to the heart, and it was something that mattered to them. And that team is like super together, right, Blake? Like their culture's great. They love each other. The coach has them on the same page. They love the coach. I mean, it's rare that you find that.
absolutely. And that's, again, if you would have told me they would have won, I would have been shocked. But that's why they play the game, as those pundits say.
Back-to-back champs, Mustangs.
Yeah. So should we get to it really quick?
Let's do it.
15, Forsyth scores the first goal. Kind of little scramble. Great little goal. DCG goes up 1-0, controls the half.
Ella Forsyth has been really good this tournament. Just for my...
Well, I mean, it's funny because you remember the first game you watched?
Yeah.
Landry Glasgow was really good as well.
She was.
And that Sear, she's... Damon, you're shaking your head, but I had never seen her play, and she came up for the first press conference after they won, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting little development. Then I saw her play for 80 minutes. I was like, all right, she's legit.
Yeah, they've got some players.
Yep. So I don't know. The last I wish I would have asked, number 1, Alex Hoffbauer. She scores the second. If she intentionally meant to do it or not, but she's kind of half volley chip. I don't know if you can chip a half volley, but just kind of dinked one over.
It.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a spoon shot.
But no, they won. I would say pretty comfortably. Shell Rock had a couple good little chances. And it's too bad because Shell Rock was supposed to come talk to us after their semifinal. Their coach, Scott Shara, super nice guy, awesome guy. And they just couldn't come through. They had Stromberg up top and Bartek and...
No, Bartek's for the Mustangs, but Stromberg, you're right, is for...
No, so if you let me finish this thought.
I might
Bartek
let you.
and Neela Williamson, and there was another one in there I've lost, but completely put her to bay and didn't allow her to do much.
I see what you're saying there. Sorry for cutting you
Yeah,
off.
the only other, they shut out, they kind of go in there. Maya Fritz, goalkeeper. I think she was the all-tournament team captain.
She was.
yeah.
And what a stud.
Yeah,
And-
they shut out Waverly for the first time all year.
Yeah, and what a great attitude from that DCG squad. They came over for a quick press conference, and they're over the moon. 2-time state champs.
Yeah,
and they've got Dan James apparently is going to be singing on the table tonight, dancing and singing on the table. So
I'm sure he won't have any beverages to be celebrating to get him to do that either.
I want that video. I want to see him.
It's probably available right now.
And they're bringing a lot of heat back next year.
They are. They're going to be tough to beat for a bit now, and I think that it just goes back to when we talked about in the press conference and we asked the girls what's it like to play for Dan James, and it just seems like he's just dialed in. He gets the young ladies, and he's got them all on the same page. And he and his staff are, they're I don't know. They're all wearing matching shoes, matching shorts, matching shirts, matching hats. The girls love that stuff. It just fits, and I just really love it.
He had a pretty cool little moment with the group after the game. That was clearly they've bought into him, what he says, and I love it. I mean, he's a little bit of like, I mean, are
Old
they the
Slim
new
Jim James?
Yeah, are they the new Chris Allen Jaguar AC like Centennial Jags? Like, I love it. Like back-to-back local state champs, and exciting. Congrats. Well done, Mustangs.
Yeah, I don't know that there's much more to say other than that the Mustangs, they gallop again, and it'd be really fun to see them play next year. Damo, you got anything?
No, they gallop again. That's great.
I love it. All right, let's get to some. What is it? Where are we going? 3A boys action?
I don't know. Stay tuned. Let's
go
tease.
3A
See
boys
where we
action
end up
next.
at.
All right, see you soon. And we are back. I'm Ben Brackett, your Soccer Talk co-host. I've got Damian Corriere here, still shockingly after being burned really badly by the sun today.
Absolutely.
And then I've got Blake Sievers over there, my good friend and Soccer Talk co-host, Sibo. What do you think?
I'm still in a high, man. This is big. I hate this day of all days. It's actually the worst day for me because
It's also the best day.
Yeah, the games are just going back and forth. You don't have time to watch a full game. You know, there's no gaps.
And we're doing press conferences and recaps like way late. And usually we like to do them right after so it's fresh. But hey, we're here and let's go.
When what do they say? When life gives you lemons, you make a little vodka lemonades.
So we had Iowa City Liberty, the Lightning, taking on the Norwalk Warriors. The Warriors, a little bit of underdogs. I think they really kind of went against the grain and beat Hoover, the number 1 seed in the semifinal. And they were also, after the quarterfinals, they were down one of their best players after getting a late red card. But then Iowa City Liberty, on the other hand, they just sort of rolled, and their record, I'm just looking at the program for the season, was 9-8, and I'm going, wow, okay, that's not great. But then you look at who they've played, and they've played an entirely 4A schedule minus a few teams here and there, and I mean the losses they have are all to like state tournament teams. And when then you're looking at the losses and you're expecting them to play Iowa City West and lose like 8-0, and it's 2-1. So I think they're like they're one of those teams that at some point may get bumped up to 4A. Hopefully, because they were very good. Matt Harding, the coach,
great guy.
I loved him.
We were a little nervous at first.
The coaches all have ties on because they're all business, baby.
But then they didn't wear the ties this week.
95 degrees
Correct.
Yeah.
They were
Correct.
here day one, suit and tie.
Well, so let's talk about that game. Just briefly, did either of you guys catch much of that? I think Damo did.
Yeah, we caught it. I mean, listen, Liberty's got continuity that goes on from them developing a culture within their program, but also a lot of kids that play together within a club environment.
Well, it's a new team,
And
so their culture is like they were able to start from scratch and say like, here's where we're at. They didn't have like they never had a losing. Well, maybe they had losing seasons, but they started. When was their program started? I think it was 2017 or 18. But this is their first state tournament appearance.
Yeah, and it's clear the kids are buying into a system. I think that they really were deliberate with how they were trying to build an attack. And their fourth and fifth goals were the fifth goal was not. I won't say it was not well constructed. It was on a counterattack, but ball came off the bar and then got it in. But they were committed to playing and building through the third. So I was really impressed with them from a style perspective, and then obviously just the way they buy into the culture that they're trying to develop within that program. They seem to be building something pretty strong.
So I walked over. I think it was like 3-0 at that point, and like Iowa City Liberty was so calm. They would like get the ball free in midfield and they'd like kind of cut it back and move it wide again, and they weren't in a hurry. I just thought they looked like a team that could have been playing in 4A. They looked like they had a lot of players that played club soccer. They looked like they're well coached. They were organized. I was impressed. And Norwalk's literally like they're against odds, right?
I was gonna say, like, you guys talk about culture and whatnot. Like Kralik is like he's kind of like the godfather of 3A now that they're moved in there. Like I bet Iowa City Liberty is trying to become the Norwalk, right? They're the dynasty, and that was 2A, now 3A. Missed some years, come to state, but like he's done an unbelievable job of creating a culture within that community. and within that program of, and like probably like right there. I mean, I would say I think it's everybody's got to say like they upset Hoover.
Absolutely upset
So they
him.
threw everything emotional, and to recover and play the final, it probably was just got the best of them a little bit.
I just always find it interesting that a program like Norwalk, or we talk about like a Valley on the girls' side, just some of these programs just like have like a consistent culture of winning. And Norwalk, I'm looking at this now, has been to the state tournament 14 times since 2004. I mean, so that means they've missed out like 9 times over 20 some odd years. Like, that's pretty impressive. And they've got 4 state championships to go with it. And they churn out college soccer players, and guys that are going to continue to play the game their entire lives. And they're one of those. They're similar to DCG. We talked about DCG and the 2A girls. Like, they just got great culture. It's awesome to see. And Dustin Kralik, credit to you. You've got the boys in the right direction.
Back were kind of where they are
Yeah,
comfortable.
absolutely. It's been a bit, but I think it's going to be positive for them moving forward. So, shout out to Iowa City Liberty. Studs.
Give Harding a shout for his shoes. Yeah, I mean, so we had a little
purple gazelles. Those are the best purple.
And we had a good
like gazelles I've ever seen. They're so nice.
Awkward little interaction with him at halftime, right? But like we didn't know. Hopefully he was joking. We got after that.
I chatted with him. We're good.
Yeah, I know he was joking after, but like we didn't realize at the time he got us like he got us good. So well done, Harding. Well done.
Mini pitch in Iowa City is the next movement. So keep your eyes out for that. Congratulations to the Lightning, Iowa City Liberty. I'm sure they're jazzed and probably
they stuck around for the 4A boys.
But I guarantee you they're singing all the way home, and very happy that they are not at Iowa City West, because it sounds like a lot of those boys may have that school split, right? So it's similar to Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Liberty was when Iowa City split. So
they have Iowa City High as well.
Correct, but they split again, and these are the West guys. So like a bunch of these guys, you didn't hear the press conference.
Yeah, that's
a couple
cool.
of those guys came from Iowa City West to go play for Liberty, and it sounds like that's going to be the people are going to be transferring out of Iowa City West to come to Liberty.
Drama in Iowa City now.
I'm not sure how I feel about the open enrollment, but
I love it.
But let's go.
That's a podcast on its own.
Yeah, we'll do that another time. So, what are we going to next? We got some 3A girls action. Let's hit it. Let's go. Whew, and we're back.
I'd be curious, like, what people... Oh, sorry, Ben. I don't want to ruin the intro.
No, go. Get in there.
What are people going to do if they're just watching these back to back to back? Like, these guys haven't moved. They haven't...
No, we haven't.
Not moved his hands because my arms are fried and I can't move them.
We've been here all day in the sun getting pummeled, but we are at the end of the day. It's finally cooled off a little bit, and we've just seen
A little bit.
some crazy stuff. But so we're going to talk about the 3A girls. We had the Johnson Dragons, Blake's Johnson Dragons, taking on my Valley Tigers.
YouTube plug here.
What's that?
YouTube plug.
Yeah, YouTube plug. Get on there. Siebes has his jersey on, and he's ready to go. I do not have a Valley jersey, and we lost.
Well, mine still fits. Yours probably doesn't. So,
also, well, actually, to be fair, jerseys back in the day
were bigger.
They were much bigger. So if I was wearing my senior year jersey, I guarantee you it fits. It's probably like 3 times bigger than I am right now. But let's move on. We saw Johnston take on Valley, little Metro matchup, and it was electric, it sounded like. I saw Emma Hampton score an absolute bullet header in like the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of that game.
And then,
What a great goal, though.
yeah.
I mean, she roofed it with her head. Like, what a goal.
She's a bit... I mean, we talked about it in the semifinal
She
game.
had a little height to her.
She literally didn't lose in the first half 1 tackle. She didn't lose 1 challenge, 1 aerial ball. Like, literally 100. I counted because after I was like, holy cow. And clearly she scored a goal with her head as well. And they... because they lost to Valley 1-0 earlier this year.
She must be really good at volleyball if she's playing volleyball in college.
No, she's playing soccer at Iowa.
I thought she was playing volleyball at Iowa. She's playing soccer at Iowa?
someone didn't do their research.
I did not do my research. Well, so it goes.
Yeah.
Well,
But
she's
Valley
a stud. She's going to do
came
well.
Right back, though.
Yeah.
Just
They did. It was literally
a few
immediate.
minutes later or right
No,
away.
not even. Yeah,
immediate. It was like within a minute.
And whether it was J.C. Lucky or Zoe Farrington, we don't know. I heard Zoe on the announcement.
One of the moms said Zoe, because it was the other end of the field. We couldn't see, but it was a decent little goal.
hey, listen, either which way, two great players. And so whoever scored, but an immediate response, and then the game kind of yeah. We got to the classic of the finals where
nobody
we went
wants
through and no one really
wanted to win it. They didn't want to.
Exactly.
They didn't want to lose. They just didn't want to win it.
Yeah.
Cool
So-
crowd though. Awesome.
It was great.
The
And
atmosphere
then-
was electric. Yeah, it was good.
So, like, let's just go straight to the penalties, right? Like, it takes a long time to get there. And actually, we should stop quick because
there's
overtime,
big,
right?
big.
Valley scores in overtime. My Tigers. And referee calls it back. So, like, I mean, we were on the other field and we hear
Yeah,
it.
here's
Like,
the
"Oh,
challenge.
Game's over.
Keep going. Sorry, Ben.
But we're going to get there. That's
Yeah.
going to be the culmination of our conversation. But the Tigers didn't make it happen there, and then we went through overtime, went to penalties, and it seems like the Drags were just too much. Didn't sound. I mean, we didn't watch every single penalty, but we got some video for some people. Sounds like we had some penalties that were off target, which is concerning, but it happens, right?
Just tired legs.
Yeah.
Long week.
Oh, right. I
Hot.
mean, they're gassed.
Yeah.
I gotta imagine that, but
Spalding ball.
Nerves.
small Spalding balls got it. Yeah, we're
Balls
gonna
are
talk about
shocking,
that
to be
too.
fair, but
Yeah. Well, but so let's sort of wrap it up. And the Drags, the girls.
I don't want to wrap it up. Let's talk about the Drags all night.
We can talk about the Drags all night.
Smashing the Tigers. I'm here for
So
it.
the Drags were very good. Let's just shout out like all their studs. You got Isabella Balsley, number 7. We talked about Emma Hampton. Who else, Blake?
The goalkeeper, Meredith Downs.
And then Tyler Donaldson.
Ty
too,
Donaldson was good.
Yeah.
some great players on Valley as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to give a shout out to Avery Galloway. You had Rachel Hansen.
Anna Spain, center back.
Anna Spain.
Yeah, I'm not
how
sure.
to say it exactly.
She was good. I liked her. Like she shut down Balsley. To be fair.
And I was a big fan of their goalkeeper, Lydia Anderson, too.
Yeah, Lydia's a great
she's
goalkeeper.
heading out. What's it? It says to somewhere in Hawaii Pacific. Go
Smart.
on, young
She's
lady.
smartest,
Like, go
smartest,
on.
smartest
Like,
one here.
She's getting well out.
That is impressive. I love that. So, but really, like a great 3A final, and just a couple of perennial programs, big CIML. I guess they're not CIML anymore, but big metro schools taking care of business, and it was just fun to watch, and it got the whole town out. And I don't know. Anybody got anything more?
I was just saying, it's. I don't know if we dive into it here or the next
let's
one.
talk about it
It's
now.
challenging to have the biggest class. I mean, all throughout the day, other than the mornings, to have two finals going on at the same time on non-adjacent fields.
So the boys played at 10, 1, 4, and 7, and the girls played at noon, 3, and 6. So if you do the math, you basically can just watch like one half of the girls' game, and then you can watch the whole boys' game, and you can go watch one half of the girls' game, and then all of the boys' game. And it just, I don't know.
Gilbert ran into that a little bit, right?
Yeah, and so then that's
Yeah,
crazy.
Gilbert
So
girls and boys.
you've got Gilbert girls and boys in the final, and Johnson girls and boys in the final.
12 and 1 o'clock, yeah.
And can you imagine, like, if you had a son or daughter on both teams, which we know a Johnson family that had that situation. and,
Stricklers did, yeah.
Literally, like, were you splitting the baby and go, Mom, you go this way, Dad, you go that way? Or, like, what do you do?
I hope he comes over for the press conference. If they come over tonight, because I'm going to ask what Nate and Shannon, the mom and dad,
They're
did.
Definitely still here celebrating. So we're going to get them. I'm pretty excited.
I do think what was nice about both those situations, watching the Johnson Valley girls game, was there was a lot of young players from the community that were there to come out and watch, their local schools play. There was even some club presence as well. Same for Gilbert.
There was?
Yeah, a little bit. You see some club jerseys out there, but same thing for the Gilbert boys game. There was again a lot of people from the Ames Gilbert area. A lot of people. So a lot of younger kids from the Gilbert soccer club that were there in their uniforms. So that's good to kind of see that connection with community club and high school coming together for an event. That's good to see.
I do. I loved it. I mean, there were kids playing soccer all over the place,
Oh,
and it was awesome.
I had to get a ball out for a couple of kids because they were like, they wanted to play with some other guys, and the kids were like, we don't want you to play with us, which was funny. But I was like,
Yeah.
no, yeah. Well, they wouldn't want to play with me because I would dominate. But like, had them go grab a ball, and then I came back, and they were still like, yo, watch me do this. And I mean, I just love that. Like, these kids here, like, they're living under the lights, man. They know where they want to go because they are here.
That's why
I wish there were more kids here watching these older guys play, all older girls play, because, man, like, this is what it's all about. It really is.
the community, the environment, the atmosphere, and that's why, like, if they can, I mean, there's a way to do it. You shift those kickoff times, and you can make them flexible. Guess what? Basketball, like, they're flexible a little bit because stuff can go into 7 overtimes. And
all right, well, let's just hassle them quick about the other things.
but they've done a cool thing with making it boys and girls together. Like, it is cool.
They're making progress. So, guys,
and the rest days worked in are nice. And
no, I know, but let's go. So, Iowa Girls High School
Athletic Union
and the Iowa High School Athletic Association need to get together and figure out how to make this tournament one, right? I mean, because it's silly. Like, the refs have to pay to be a part of each association. Like, we have to communicate with both associations, and it's not like that anywhere else. And it's fine with us. We don't care, but, like, why are we wasting all that money as a state on this kind of stuff? It seems silly.
Yeah, I think, and we're willing to sit at the table and talk and be the mediator of everybody if you guys want to make it happen.
I'm guessing
start with soccer too.
I'm guessing they don't listen, but you know what?
They've been good. So, like, we also got to say, like, they've been awesome. We've had some challenges and whatnot, but they could put the kibosh down.
I will be surprised.
We might be out on Southeast 14th, and we might be in Skornavaka's Pizza parking lot next year doing all this stuff.
I will be surprised if they call us and tell us they heard this. But let's move on to the 4A boys. To me, it's the main event. And
congrats, drag girl, women. Like, love it.
Let's roll drag.
Eric Schaefer, big time. Mike Furrow, big time.
And were we not treated to a 4A spectacle?
There's a tease. Stay tuned.
Follow us. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. We are at the end of the 5th day. We just saw the 4A boys, and good Lord, man. It's been a wild day, has it not, Siebes?
Loudy.
You want to talk about ending on a high note? Man.
Well,
I
you
still
ended
have
on a high note.
Goosebumps. My shirt is, like, still
so big on you. And
it is.
Yeah.
Let's go for a shout out on our YouTube channel, because we got Siebes in his Johnson Drags jersey from, I don't know, like
It's vintage.
2010 maybe.
Vintage.
But these is prehistoric.
Yeah, it's prehistoric.
You know.
It looks good. Yeah, it's definitely prehistoric.
Those noodles are in there.
But wow, what a game. What a night. It's finally the heat kind of cuts a little bit, and the Dragons girls, the Johnson Dragons girls, winning the 3A. And then, man, 4A, could you imagine a better storyline than both squads winning on the biggest stage, on the biggest night of the year? Blake?
You can't make this up.
No, it's
We're not going to tell you what happened yet.
What's in the water up there?
But it was all left up to the boys, and it did not get out to a great start.
Okay, Damo, I'm so glad you're here, Damien.
Neutral.
But finally, we've got somebody with some astute analysis.
Razor sharp.
The sergeant of summary. What are we? I don't know.
Courier, the consultant.
Courier, the consultant is here. So, man, Damo, seriously, you watched that whole game.
Did watch the whole game.
And Iowa City West in the first half, and Johnson in the first half, 0-0. Like, nothing. It was like there were chances, and it was back and forth, but, like...
Yeah, I did listen. Johnson came out, and Iowa City West was kind of, like, on their heels the first 5, maybe 10 minutes, and it was a little nervy. Started to get a little bit of possession. I thought Iowa City West was good. Build out, back to middle third. Middle third, didn't get into the attacking third at all. They had the one chance on the counterattack when Liam had the when he probably should have buried, but it wasn't a great half from Iowa City West, and I thought Johnson was very direct, as to be fair, they always are. But they were dangerous when they got into the attacking third.
Jimbo's all rock and roll.
The reality is this: hey, listen. Be direct, get where you're dangerous is the attacking third, and they've got pieces that are going to be successful there. So I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying the game, and then the second half.
Well, hold on a minute.
Let's talk
about the penalties. 2 penalties for Johnson.
This is
you don't even
Johnson,
know that. Like, that's just you because you're wearing the bias.
So Kyron Pope.
I
think one of those two. I'm not sure which one, but one of them
perhaps
could have been a strong shot.
He is way too good of a player.
I would agree that he's probably too good of a player to miss that.
And hit it out for a throw-in. So for everybody that didn't see it,
right? So he gets in. He's behind his defender. got his shoulder in, and he goes to hit it, and it
From like the inside the 6-yard box,
gosh.
but at an angle.
It was
and
a
he
tough
looks
one.
like instead of Damon and I talked about this, like he could have gone near post.
He could have gone near post. Yeah.
Easily could have, but he wanted to go top bins on the right, and he
was
wound
just
up
trying to curl
and
it,
and but he was looking for that top bins, and he got clipped. He got clipped a little bit.
That's
and
a
like,
foul.
No, so
we all agree.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to watch it again to be fair.
If you get
It's
clipped,
Refereeing
that's a penalty.
decisions in this game.
It went out for
at
a
this
throw-in.
level,
Yeah.
I would love to watch all of them back because
I definitely, before I make a judgment call either which way, I would. Any other tackle I think you're talking about, maybe. But
I specifically think the one that Kyron Pope hits out for a throw-in, it's a tough one.
He doesn't do it.
You know
He's
what?
way too good of a
it's
player.
a very good player.
Steve,
Yeah.
take your purple off for a second. Everything worked out.
It did.
And I think that the referee was trying to get a hold of the game.
He was awesome later. Remember that little scuffle?
He was really good.
And we talked about it this week, red cards that were not.
He was a very much let it play guy,
Yeah.
which I'm a fan of. So like I wasn't worried about it, but if I'm Jimmy Frizzell, I'm chirping.
Especially because what happens when I interrupted Damien to talk about the second half here.
Yeah, we should move on to the second half,
Within
'cause that's where all
30
the-
seconds.
Let's go to the
that's where the
action.
money-
Let's go to
Talk about Styles' halftime chirp.
That's where we're going. So 0-0 at half, and somebody, I don't know who,
someone on the bench.
broke the microphone cord. I don't know.
Oh, that was you.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, because you were
And
you were stressed because
I
it
was
was
freaking
in a
out.
knot.
I stressed out, and I broke the microphone cord, so I had to run back. And I came back to the field, and so we got. So Jimmy Frizzell is ending
ran
these
back and
halftime
then
talks.
You
Well, I
took a rest on the way
I
here.
jogged.
because You were out of breath, and then,
I jogged. But so Jimmy Frizzell though, like, has the boys, like, he is having 2-minute halftime talks. He gives them like 2 or 3 minutes, chats them to him for 2 or 3 minutes, and he's like, let's go. And they just go out there and they're like ready to hop on the field, and then there's like 4 minutes left.
He might need to change it.
4 minutes, 21 seconds left.
He might need to change that though.
No, but I love it, and I think it made the difference in the Centennial game. Like, they just put them under pressure, and they started it early, and they got a goal quick. And then in this one, though, it's the absolute opposite. He gets them back out there, and we go, like, we get a chat with Jimmy because he's got time, and then we go over chat with Brad Stiles, and he has like 30 seconds. He gives us short and sweet, and we heard the end of his talk, and he was fired up. And I am going to
say the least.
To say the least. And what I loved, I mean, this is some real stuff that we're giving you right now. He
Careful,
was like,
be
no, I know,
careful.
I'm not going to tell you exactly what he said, but exactly like he's not going to tell us exactly what he told his boys.
We just heard
on the
it,
halftime
but-
chat. But we were there, and he's moving the cones around, showing them the formation they're going to play. And at the end, he just lit up Michael Nelson, like just lit him up,
Which was
And
fair.
It was
Because Nelson was the best player the first 2 games.
and he was anonymous in the first.
But they
half.
bottled them up, though. If
They
you
did.
watch the film, they had their back 3, and then who's number 11
For Johnson.
Yeah, Mateo was
Yeah.
just everywhere he went, he was just screening him off. He couldn't get the ball.
But Damo, he gets yelled at, and what's he do? He scores within the first minute.
First 15 seconds.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, he's on fire, electric, like gets there, scores the goal, and then again, like shortly thereafter, and I don't know, I mean,
But
he's
the difference,
a little,
the difference became though is in the first half he was a target. In the second half, they were just playing through balls or balls into space from the run in on, and then he was doing his thing.
yeah, and he's just
outworking guys.
He's such a good poacher, and he just preys on like defenders that don't know what they're doing or making mistakes, and like he's not very big. He doesn't look like he's super strong. He's got 2 earrings, long hair, and a beard. He's like a little hipstery to me, and I love it.
It's probably, if you ask me who the best player I saw this weekend
God,
was,
he's gotta
boys
be.
or girls,
Hey, shout out Drake Men's Soccer. You guys might have missed out.
he might be like one of, I think he's up there. I think he's the best male player.
Oh, he's got to be the best player. And the fact that he didn't get the all-tournament team captain is only because he didn't win. Because if he'd won, he's captain. No worries.
He had 6
I'm-
goals in 3
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, that's fair, but like,
No, I'm not. I'm
Yeah, I know,
nothing against the
I know,
Johnson Dragons.
I know.
I'm just saying if he had won, he's the captain. It's not
Yeah.
anybody other than him. He's a absolute stud.
so they go up 2-0.
They go up
2-0
yeah.
just after half, right? But honestly,
before the second
and
yeah.
this is my comment for you guys: is the water break, like it changes the game because you get a coaching moment
Yeah.
every 20 minutes. So Jimmy Frizzell,
It's not a water break.
It's a coaching moment.
It was 78 degrees.
It is. Yeah, it's cool.
Well,
like
but they've done it all tournament long, so there's
correct.
the
But the sun
consistency of it.
the sun has gone down. It's cooled off. Like
Yeah.
they don't need a water break. That's a normal temperature for playing soccer at.
I don't think they need water breaks at all.
and it becomes a coaching moment. And Jimmy, what do you think Jimbo said in that period, Siebes? I mean, it certainly wasn't PC.
No, but whatever he said was the same thing.
Riled
Was
them
the same thing Styles said at halftime.
Yeah.
Because we heard, like, I guarantee it, like, those boys, like, love Styles, and he got his team sorted out. And guess what? I mean, Nelson, guess what he did? He responded.
He did.
Frizzell
I think that's what's so great is you got Brad Styles like laying into Michael Nelson, who we've all been enamored with, and then Michael Nelson kind of going like, okay, I'll just score a couple
He got
goals.
into it
Like
in the first half too, but
I just love that like you've got a player that can respond to getting ripped into
In front of
it's
everybody.
hard. Yeah, it's hard to do. Like
I love it though. That's Styles. That's a good
You've never been
coach.
ripped
I
into,
love
have
it.
you?
no, I was always too. No, I mean, yeah, no. I mean, the expectations for me were pretty low, so no one really did that. But
Well, Siebes definitely got ripped into because
you've met my wife, right?
Well, we have.
And Frizzell, like, he doesn't hold back either. So, I mean,
No.
these two guys, like, actually, like, we were talking to one of the coaches that Iowa City West beat earlier this tournament, and like, like, man, Styles, like, that guy's so frustrated with Styles. Like, man, he's got him so organized. They listen to him. They're so well coached, and there's a reason, like, he's had the success he has.
Okay,
I don't know if it's his assistant Sheffield because
Old
they
Sheffy.
need how many times was Styles yelling?
Oh,
at,
my
like-
favorite moment in the
I
game.
loved it,
So
though.
they're
That's
up
so
2-0. And so after the first goal, they score right after half, and Michael Nelson is jacked. So he runs the corner, and the whole team comes down the corner, and they're on the field celebrating. Like,
So
pennies
cool.
on, like the whole deal. Oh, it was great. But the referees were not having it. They did not like it. And then they score again, and it's like a similar situation, and the boys from the bench sprint down to the corner, and Styles lost it at him. As they should have, I
Well,
think. I think so.
lose it
because
at
I think he'd
Sheffield.
been warned.
Lose it at
I
Sheffield.
think the fourth official said
Yeah.
something to him because what he said was
He said, "You're gonna get
"Stay
a
on the
red
bench,
card."
You're going to get a red card."
Yeah.
So I think there was some clear direction.
Oh,
So we got to
let
get Sheffield
kids-
to get control of the bench.
Let kids be kids.
I
Come
agree.
on.
Gotta have structure, man. Come on, bro.
Dude, it's a state final. I would say Aaron Sheffield.
We got rules in place for a reason.
Yeah.
This is a
Gotta be Dano.
balancing act, but I think that when it's all said and done, I love a Sully. So that's what there is to it.
Now it gets good.
It
Folks.
does. So second half,
Oh.
2-0, remember? There's
2-0.
poor storytelling here. 2-0, they're up. Yeah.
well, poor storytelling is our MO. So so it's 2-1. They
Pre-water
get
break.
back in the game. No,
Pre-
pre-water break.
They score a goal.
They get back in the game.
I don't know
and
who
then I
scored
think
it, but
they get a break, and Jimmy, I guarantee, was coaching the heck out of them. Like, let's go, let's figure this out.
What's a bicycle kick?
But they were all over them. Is my point. Is that like in that second 20 minutes, it's like it's such an interesting. Like when we're chirping about the girls versus the boys associations and how they run these tournaments, like something I would be really interested in is this water break, because how many games have we seen be
Turn on the water break.
totally turn on their head because of the water break?
Yeah. But there's also just desperation, and I think, again, I said it, and the game was very direct, and towards the latter part of the game, the game got even more direct. And again, like when Johnson had the ball in the attacking third, they were dangerous, and we saw what happened. They got the goal to pull 2-1, and then I don't know how much time was left on the clock.
So they scored that.
It was seconds left. It
Yeah.
was, you know.
36.
Yeah, and so
So 4 minutes left. Sounds like the burrito.
1 minute 36 seconds.
to tie it up at
Our
2-2.
cameraman is giving us
Yeah.
some great info right now.
And so, but again, it's desperation, and I looked at kind of the way Iowa City West was, for me, up 2-1 with that amount of time, still too big within their shape.
They were still playing.
There's still 2 guys up top at some points in time, and he's sitting there going like, "Guys, this is a little bit risky." Like,
Yeah, you want to go like shut it down.
It's weird that you're like
East Side.
speaking about this.
100%, we did the same exact thing, but that's.
But I think this is a challenge. Like when you go up in a game, in a big game, and you just go like, all right, let's change the way we're playing. Let's bunker down. It just invites pressure, and you've got.
And I do think Iowa City West looked a little disjointed at times because Liam was getting knocked around. Liam is number 6 who plays this.
Oh yeah.
And so
he couldn't play. He came off.
Liam's an excellent player.
He's a great player, but a little guy, dude.
Yeah,
right,
but
definitely a little guy. But here's the point, though. At halftime, if you listen to our interview with Jimbo, he specifically mentioned dropping their second striker in to deal with their holding midfielder,
which is him.
Which is their number 6,
Yeah.
who also wears the number 6. And I saw Kyron Pope light into him. Kyron Pope got a yellow card to just rip into him.
Yeah.
And so he was just they literally were like, let's get after him. And when they shut him down, like that changed the game.
I will say though, number 8. So Iowa City West had some injuries at the back line. Their 2 center backs evidently were not healthy enough to play. So they moved number 8. Can you help me out with his name?
I can. His name is Corrington.
That boy.
It's kind of like my last.
That boy was
Corrington. Yeah.
like what an absolute stud. Evidently, he plays outside back, is what I've heard. And
Well,
was he Will
number
Purdue?
8? Yeah,
Was that
Will Purdue.
He's the one that came in for 10. Was the little guy who was really and didn't look the profile for his back, but was excellent. But then he got banged up.
That boy does done well.
Yeah.
If that boy's not playing somewhere in college, I'm going to be disappointed because I was really, really impressed. He was the Emma Hampton of the Iowa City West Trojans. Won every tackle, won every ball, won every challenge.
No, I thought Iowa City West played well. I think, having to have periods with Liam not in the match hurt them. And then I think they had some periods of the game where they probably could have added. Obviously, they had Michael Nelson missed what I think everyone thought was going to be a goal. And put one wide left, and then I just think that you've got a player like Daniel Fuentes, who's
quiet tonight.
But it's not finding him too.
They didn't give him the ball, did they? He sat in front of us.
It's not a criticism of him. I'm just saying he's quiet.
Quite frankly, he had a good matchup, and there was space in behind to give him the ball on. And then maybe it's him not asserting himself enough, but he's younger. He's a sophomore, I believe.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And so, but you know what? Point being is that the future for them, they're going to continue within the Iowa City area churning out players. It's what they do, and so they'll be back. But
Frizz finally got the.
I was gonna say, let's talk about those drag quick Steves, because Jimmy Frizzell, James Frizzle.
Yeah, that's what the announcer.
I know.
Said, right?
What a stud! Like, I have been hassling him and going straight at him for years now. And he wants a state championship for his squad. He played at Johnston. It means the world to him. And, man, congratulations, Jimmy. You deserve it. And I'm super happy that you've stuck with it.
Can I go after him a little bit, though?
Of
He's forgot about us. He's let his team leave the complex.
He's not even here.
I know. We were hoping for a double press conference.
And Schaefer and Frizzell have just completely blown us off. So, we got to be fair. We went after the Sioux City Bishop Heelan boy for turning us down. He won't get invited again. We might have to, at least invite Frizzell and Schaefer.
Shut down for one miss.
Well, they'll get,
Yeah.
But to be fair, you look really good in that Adidas jersey.
You look something in that Adidas jersey. I do give a quick shout out though to Cale Leach coming up with that goal. Freshman.
What a stud. This kid, freshman, 23, right? Number 23. He was, man, there are not a lot of freshmen starting in the state tournament on the girls' side, on the boys' side, in 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. There's just
Central
not.
midfield, too.
Yeah. So he's a player and shows up when it means the most. Hold on.
He scores the winner.
Hold on. No. We can't even talk about that. Tell me about the bicycle kick to equalize.
We already talked about that. We said we 2-1, 2-2. We said that a minute.
I know,
37.
but
we couldn't tell
how
it was good. It was at the other end.
It was good. It was good. If you were
fine.
It was good.
One other. So that boy was.
You've seen them all, but
Who scored it?
Was it Carlos Martinez? Maybe. Mateo. Mateo did. Oh, the big man.
Did he give us a little Hulk
muscle?
I will tell you too. Mateo, great goal. 2-2. Cale Leach comes in.
Cale Leach, what a stud.
I mean, listen, man. And Cale's near and dear in my heart. Good relationship with Cale. I've coached him through ODP, so there's a relationship.
He's
there,
what, 6'2"?
Kid's a little beast.
He's
a
big boy.
I will tell you this: the biggest takeaway from the match is that, and I don't know where he is right now, but Matt Sahag better.
But yeah,
Look.
he's got
Oh yeah.
he's got somebody on his 6 right now, just
was-
keeping him under control.
You might be in the witness protection program.
So for those that are
The drags
like,
are after his say.
why are they talking about this? So Sahag, should we just plug
Yeah,
the
you
previous
gotta-
press conference?
you
Go
gotta
back and watch it.
Yeah,
because the semifinal press conference is great, and those boys
They go
tonight-
straight after him. But I think that's like, and I think this is kind of where we wrap it up. Like
No, hold on, I got one more. Matt Wieland's nephew.
Emiliano.
Yeah, well, I don't know what. On like left back for Johnson, number 10 maybe, 12.
12.
Well, then more.
Cooper?
Oh no, sorry. That was
No,
other side.
our cameraman's giving us dodgy info.
Hello.
We're just struggling here.
Left back.
Wonder kid?
Yeah, super fast.
Yeah, okay.
Freshman again.
We're
Plays for
strong on the
Tomas'
research here at
FC
Kick It
United
Forward.
team. Max.
Easy there, Damo.
It's Max.
It's been a long day.
He was really good. And then we haven't even
Max
talked about.
Aliano.
Yeah.
He was the 16. He's a freshman defender.
And then. And all right, and then Amur was really good.
It was good. And I tell you what, Sahag, I don't know where you are, but you might want to find a safe house quickly, okay?
Those boys, yeah, I love it, Damien. Good catch.
You might want to get some protection.
Well, we're gonna try and find a sweet double dragon emoji because the drags are rolling tonight. Blake Severs is not gonna sleep tonight. He's gonna be out partying with the boys. And the girls.
I know the lights.
And Jimmy
the
Frizzell.
lights are off
The
at
lights are
County,
off.
by the way.
359 days till we come back here.
Oh, cannot
drags.
wait. Roll drags. Unlucky to all my Tigers. And, I mean, seriously, best week of the year.
She might be sleeping real quick. I have to give a shout out. Thank you, big time.
Let's go. Uncle T.
Uncle T.
He's an absolute beast. You've got Damian Corriere here with us.
Evan Killstrom.
Evan
Dan
Kilstrom is our
Rothert.
photographer and
Yep.
videographer, and
Big-
he's an
big Dan
absolute
Rothert.
So when the
stud.
audio doesn't work from a couple videos ago, you can
You
blame
can probably
him.
blame that on me, but who else we got? We
I mean,
got
Park
Sahag.
Bracket.
Park Bracket?
Yeah,
Well, he helped with some tables,
Yeah,
helped us set
absolutely.
up.
Big time.
You had Matt
Absolutely.
LeMaile come on the pod. You had Dan Rother, top student athlete recruiting. You hear that, Dan? I didn't even have to look at your shirt.
Case and Crawl
Jason
came
Crawl,
on.
Anna Turi.
Yep.
I mean, the team at Kick It Forward is immense. We love all of our friends.
And if anybody else wants to come on, we invite anybody and everybody and all.
What a week. We'll see you in
Wow,
about a
this is
year.
the wrap up.
It is. It's the end. I love you guys.
man.
We'll see you soon.